Some of the things that I've auditioned for have been, of course, 8 Mile. Yeah, the legendary 8 Mile, man. Casting director Mally Finn, when she came to town to Michigan to cast that film, uh, her office contacted me and they said, "We want you to come out to East Point." It was a club there called the Wired Frog. And she said, "Yeah, we want you to come out and read for the role of Papa Doc. And we want you to get on stage and rap." So I'm like, heck, I gotta get over to East Point. I need a ride. But a quick story about Mally Finn. She's she was a prominent casting director. She's casted a lot of films like Batman Returns. She's casted, I believe, L.A. Confidential, of course, 8 Mile, a lot of prominent films. And back when I was in middle school, 8th grade at Jefferson Junior High, I wrote Mally Finn a letter when she had her casting offices located on the Warner Brothers Studios lot. And I said, "Dear Mally," and I sent a little snapshot pic of me too. And I said, "Dear Mally, can I please be cast in one of your films? I know you're the casting director on some of them, and I just like a chance." And I didn't think nothing of it. I mailed it off to Warner Brothers with the attention of casting director Mally Finn's office. And I didn't think nothing of it. Then a few weeks later, I checked the mail. And, well, no, my mother checked the mail. She said, "Ismail, you have some mail right here." And I looked on it, and it had the Warner Brothers logo on the outside of it. And I said, So, I go open the envelope up, and it was Mally Finn. She wrote me back. And she said that she wasn't casting anything at the time that I would be good for, but she said that she was tickled pink, as she said, that I would write her such a letter and send a snapshot and stuff. And she said that she took my letter and my snapshot and she posted it on her office bulletin board. And she said she'll definitely have me in mind. And so I just stayed in touch throughout the years. Every now and then I would call to her particular office at Warner Brothers, and one day in 2000, I heard that they were in town, and I got a call from a representative from her office and said, "We'd like you to come on out and audition for the role of Papa Doc, start rapping and stuff at the Wired Frog." So I had to find a ride at the time to the Wired Frog, man. I'm like, how am I gonna get out there and back? So it was some of the young ladies we grew up in, some of our neighbors in the neighborhood. So you had Danielle Martis and Stacy Carnes. They were neighbors of mine. And, they were driving at the time. Well, they had vehicles at the time. I was still driving too, but I didn't have no whip at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I had to convince them. I had to say, "Hey, look, Danielle, Stacy, can y'all please drive me to the Wired Frog? I got this big film audition, and I'll introduce you to D12 and Eminem," because, it was an Eminem movie. And they was like, "Okay, yeah, for sure. We got you. We're going to take you." So me, who was that? Hussein, Lukman, Khan, we all hopped in a ride with them, and they're driving us to the Wired Frog, man. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't know my audition was going to take that long, because she had other people in there, other MCs and artists and stuff like that she was auditioning. And so Stacy and Danielle was waiting outside the whole time. And I'm like, "Dang, I got Danielle and Stacy waiting outside." I'm like, I should run outside and let them tell them to just come on in. And by the time I got done with my audition, and I met Mally Finn. She was a nice lady, sweet lady. She wore glasses, had curly hair or whatnot. And we go to leave, and Stacy and Danielle had busted up, man. They earthed up on us. They was dosed. We're like, "Where's the ride?" Like, man, they left us. So we were stranded in East Point. We just started walking. East Point and Detroit's right there on the same border. So we walk over onto the east side of Detroit, and we just walk to one of Luke's people's house, and we just figured it out from there. We ended up catching a bus back and all this stuff, and then later that the next day I met up with Danielle and Stacy, and I'm like, what happened? And he's like, yeah, you guys are on some bullshit. You left us outside that whole time, and we didn't get to see no D12 or Eminem. I'm like, oh, I apologize. I apologize so much, ladies. I felt bad because, I really did want to introduce them to those guys, and they were very enthusiastic about it. So, but yeah, bless both of them too for doing that for us that all those many years ago. Stacey Carnes and Danielle Martis. So I didn't book the role of Papa Doc. It came down to the wire of me and he was a newcomer at the time. His name was Anthony Mackie. He had just graduated from the Juilliard School. So he got the role, and they called me and offered me to come be what's called a featured extra. So I was featured in a lot of the shelter scenes in 8 Mile, the rap battles and stuff that took place at St. Andrews Hall. So I got to show up for 4 days of filming for that, and that was a blast, man. That was an experience.